everyone, and welcome to another edition of UBTV News Magazine. This show is brought to you by the University of the Bahamas Communication and Journalism Department. I'm Annalise Thompson.
Our show features national news, campus news, sports, and so much more. I'm Lauren Ashley Turner.
Have you ever had to park on campus, especially on a rainy day?
Yeah, and it can be a mess, but now things are starting to change for the better.
My co-host found a newly paved parking for students by the bandshell. Here's that story.
For most students at the University of the Bahamas, driving is their main mode of transportation. But with driving comes parking. Currently, there are two main parking areas designated for students on campus located near the Portia M. Smith building off Ponciana Drive and the Culinary Hospitality and Management Institute, also known as CHIMI, off of University Drive. Although the area is meant for staff and faculty, students also take advantage of a small parking area located in front of the Michael H. Eldon complex. With only two parking areas on campus and a large driving population, students tend to have a difficult time finding parking spaces.
We need more parking. That's all I have to say.
I think the parking lot is very small for the amount of students that we have because we don't know the line was long. Everybody on the line trying to get served. All those students, they should at least be able to accommodate some of us because I drive around the parking lot for like 10 minutes trying to wait for someone to pull out the parking lot.
The parking situation became even worse at the university when the area near Portia Smith was closed in January for development. Although most students are relieved the area known for its uneven grounds and flooding is being paved, most are upset with the last-minute inconvenience. I spoke to the Vice President of Operations, Mr. Ronnie Stevenson, about the development and plans for future parking at the university.
Well, we got a number of cries, I would say, from the student population, and we're always trying to make sure that our customer base is happy and feels comfortable. So we just decided, hey, let's go ahead and develop the parking lot. It was actually scheduled for the Christmas break, but due to the availability of the contractor, we had to delay it a bit until January. The former Clarence A. Bain building, we intend to make that a parking area and then have people shuttle across. Also, we've already gotten permission from the Ministry of Youth Sports to use the area where they do the road traffic. Yeah, so those two areas we're going to start using in very short order.
The parking near Portia Smith is set to reopen near the beginning of February. But for now, Mr. Stevenson has these words of advice for students.
Try to come as early as possible because it's a first come, first serve. And like I said, we'll never have sufficient parking for everybody. So first come, first serve, and you should be sorted out.
Reporting for the University of the Bahamas, I'm Lauren Ashley Turner. Annalise, do you know most Bahamians' favorite thing to do on a Sunday afternoon?
Go to the beach?
Yeah, that too, but the answer is supposed to be enjoying a nice bowl of conch salad.
Ah, of course, you're right.
My co-host went out and did some research on conch being on the verge of extinction. Here's that story.
Can you imagine not being able to enjoy a nice bowl of conch salad anymore? Well, neither can I. However, it is reported that conch, a staple in the Bahamian culture, may be going extinct.
It can't go extinct. The reason for that is, from I was a little boy, I know where conch was, and they're still there today.
This is what local fisherman Mr. Kalma had to say despite the recent studies that in the next 10 to 15 years, the Bahamian conch will be extinct. Last month, it was reported that the government needs to take action to prevent the extinction of the queen conch. Marine Science Officer Agnesa Lundy of the Bahamas National Trust gave examples of what she believes would help alleviate the problem.
A main threat is poaching by foreigners, poaching by locals, fishing juvenile or baby conch, habitat destruction, and inadequate enforcement. So we can work together with the government to address those threats.
Shed Aquarium, one of the groups who are involved in conducting the research, claims they have been analyzing the queen conch population in the Bahamas for 8 years. Their findings show that adult conch has decreased due to fishing pressure. Fisherman Gregory Brown shares his views on what he thinks may be causing the problem.
To the sales of the conch vendors, basically people come together either 2 or 5 or 6 conchs for either their meal or actually they're going to do conch salad. See, the problem is not in the Bahamas 400,000 people. No, it's the individual people who out there who craving for this stuff. And then the demands are high.
There are so many unanswered questions surrounding this recent discovery. Let's hope the government takes action to prevent the extinction of one of the most popular dishes in Bahamian cuisine. And that's the story of the conch in a conch shell. Reporting for UBTV, I'm Annalise Thompson.
The tech world is evolving in the Bahamas, making shopping and dining easier.
That's right. A new delivery app launched in December of last year is changing the way we shop. Our Jayanta Johnson has more on that story.
Picking up one of the first deliveries for the day. As you can see, I'm with my trendy shirt, Runners, the fastest way to get what you need delivered to your door. Let's go.
Created and developed by Bahamians, the Runners On Demand app is transforming the way Bahamians receive food, makeup, and other services without leaving the comfort of their home. CEO of the app tells us what the app is about and why it was named Runners On Demand.
Well, the app it's basically a delivery platform. Similar to those in the States that you may recognize, Amazon, Uber Eats, Grubhub. It's a compilation of all of those. It's a hybrid app. You can get things delivered, but you could also have like a marketing service, analytics, and everything is provided with the apps. And it was named Runners because I ran track for the Bahamas for a lot of years, two-time Olympian. So we're like, Runners would be a good name for it.
So how does the app work?
There are two things. For the customer app, there's what we call in-app vendors, where a vendor, whether you sell shoes, you sell food, you sell clothing, anything, you can place your entire store in the app. So what we call it is a digital franchise. So your entire inventory is placed in the app where anybody can see whatever you sell in that physical location. It's actually in that app.
The app is also providing jobs to the Bahamian economy.
We wanted to have something that would be economically impactful. So we created two different apps. There's a customer app where vendors can sign up. There's also a driver app. So people can work anytime they want, make money on your own time, be your own boss. And you get this cool shirt, a Runners shirt. So
News Cafe, one of the vendors, tells us about how easy the app is for them. How do you feel about the Runners app?
The Runners app is pretty cool. It's pretty simple to use. Makes my job easy.
So can you give us a little run through about the app?
The orders come through the computer, ready for delivery, and then one of the runner guy comes in and they come and collect the order.
The app is available on both iOS and the Android Play Store.
Reporting for UBTV, I'm Jayanta Johnson.
In health news, the old saying, "Our bodies are our temples," seems to have been forgotten as the rate of disease amongst men increases.
The University Health Department and the Department of Health hosted a men's expo to spread awareness. Our reporter Natalia Clark gives us the prognosis.
Men from all walks of life gathered at the Performing Arts Center to learn about the importance of a healthy lifestyle. The event opened with remarks by Mr. Darvin Toussaint, followed by the Dean of Students, Joe Stubbs. They gave the audience special tips to change their lifestyles.
Story was men health in the Bahamas. She said, "We'll be doing a special series on pot-belly men in the Bahamas." And I said, "You all pick me?"
So 30 minutes a day will definitely ensure that we stay active and stay moving around and stay healthy. Lose the gut for good.
There were vendors performing free screening, showcasing natural health supplements and distributing free samples. General practitioner Dr. Nicholas Fox urges the Bahamas to take better care of their health.
The thing is, in this country, we have a lot of men that are not practicing healthy lifestyles. We have one of the highest incidence of diabetes in the world. And here we have the type of diabetes that you develop as an adult due to bad eating habits, bad diet, excessive weight gain, and excessive weight. So in terms of us being a health-conscious nation with our men, we could do better.
School nurse Nayoka Sweeting shared some obstacles males go through on a day-to-day basis.
So many challenges or diseases that males are battling with are prostate cancer, hypertension, diabetes, kidney failure, heart disease. So, and I think maybe it does have a lot to do with the stress.
You won't have good wealth if you don't have good health. I'm Natalia Clark, reporting for UBTV.
In other health news, a healthy mind equals a healthy body, according to Nathan Sweden, COO of Elite Wellness Solution. Here's Lauren Seymour with that interview.
It's New Year's, a time where people set their goals for the future. For many, that means less time in the kitchen and more time in the gym. I'm here with Nathan Sweeting, who is a life coach, and he's here to tell us what he does.
Like you said, I am a life coach, and I also am the COO of Elite Wellness Solutions. Now, my company focuses on helping other companies to build a culture of wellness within the organization, and it's never about a quick fix. It's always about lifestyle modification and behavioral change.
So, Nathan, is there more to being healthy than just food intake and exercise?
Well, you notice we're in the kitchen, and we're not cooking right now.
Right.
And that's because you have to change your mindset first before you could achieve any goal.
So what do you mean by change your mindset?
Well, you know, we all have our mindset on losing weight and being healthier. But then what's the key? You know, the key is, as a life coach, I help people with self-mastery and servant leadership. And that helps you to expand your definition of what living healthy is. Going beyond your physical body and focusing on your thoughts and emotions as well.
So just now you talked about self-mastery. What exactly is self-mastery?
Well, that's another name for self-control, to just be blunt about it. And it doesn't mean that you are out of control. It just means maximizing your thoughts so you can more focus on achieving your goals and eliminating the distractions out there. And that also means to focus on being consistent with your habits. New habits that were formed, old habits that you want to get rid of. That teaches you how to be consistent with that, and also learning how to control your emotions, being happy, confident, and displaying these traits that you need to achieve your goal.
So how do we achieve self-mastery?
But you got to start with self-awareness. It starts with understanding yourself, understanding your thoughts, your beliefs. Who do you believe you are? For example, do you believe you're confident?
Yeah.
You are. Well, I can see that. Do you believe you're shy? Do you believe you're fat, skinny, incompetent? Whatever your belief is, that'll contribute to whether or not you achieve your goal. But that's the first step, being aware of that.
So what comes after this self-awareness, this self-mastery, after you figured out who you are?
I mean, it's an ongoing process, so self-mastery actually never ends. But once you have gotten the foundation down, the basics of who you really are and understanding yourself, that's when you put into place steps to achieve the goal, an action plan. Now that action plan can change day by day, week by week, depending on what obstacles you meet. So you have to be flexible with it.
So earlier you mentioned servant leadership. Can you explain what servant leadership is?
That simply refers to using your knowledge, your experiences, and everything that you've learned and your growth to actually help others and empower others, uplift them to grow and achieve their goals as well. So it's sort of like giving back. And this is actually how you choose fulfillment over happiness.
Can you explain what it is to choose fulfillment over happiness?
The simplest way I could describe that is happiness is what you get. Right. Fulfillment is what you give. So
it's all about putting in work?
Yeah, it's all about putting in work to help someone else. Whether you looking on a spiritual scale, emotional scale, professional scale, is all about helping someone else in the process, and that's where the fulfillment comes from.
All right, Nathan, thanks for telling us how to balance our life to the best of our abilities. Right. For those of you at home that are interested in healthy lifestyles, look below for the information. I'm Lauren Seymour. Back to the show.
Lauren, have you ever been to a ball before?
No.
What about Paris?
No, but I've always wanted to go.
The Bahamas Red Cross Society held its 47th annual ball under the theme An Evening in Paris. Our reporter Andrea Davos shares her experience.
Hundreds of people came out in support of the Bahamas Red Cross Society's 47th annual ball. It was an evening in Paris as ladies and gents graced the red carpet in sparkling gowns and sleek tuxedos. Humanity, neutrality, independence, voluntary service, and unity are some of the fundamental principles of the Red Cross Society. For this cause, this grand celebration was hosted to raise funds from sponsors to aid those less fortunate living in the Bahamas.
Cindy William Ramey, chairperson of the Red Cross Society, spoke with us and shared the importance of the annual ball.
The Red Cross, as you know, supports the entire Bahamas. We have family island branches in every island, and we have the downtrodden and the poverty throughout the Bahamas. So we're here every day cooking meals in the kitchen, 250 meals per day. We deliver to persons who otherwise would not get a meal but for the Red Cross. So we need funds for that. We need funds to pay the operational expenses, which are in excess of $700,000 per year. And this particular ball, we had set a net goal of $150,000. Tonight, as you can see, we have sold 50 tables. Some of them are platinum, some of them are gold, some of them are regular tables. But we hope with the raffle included, with the trip to Paris, persons will support, and we're actually trying to net possibly $180,000. So big dreams, big goals, but corporate Bahamas and individuals always step up to the plate.
Her Majesty Dame Margaret Pinlan, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Honorable Frankie Campbell were amongst the guest list who celebrated with the 2019 honoree, Mrs. Nancy Kelly. Attendees also received giveaways and door prizes and was entertained by some of the greatest musicians in the country. Serving is what the society is all about. Travis Edgecombe was one of the volunteers who was present at the ball, and he shared with us what serving the society means for him.
This is my second year working, and I am enjoying it. I love the atmosphere, and it's all about the cause. So I'm very excited and happy to be a part of this initiative in terms of giving back. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Anastasia Palacios was also spotted in the crowds dancing on the floor, and I had the chance to speak with her.
The ball is a great opportunity for us to come together and donate financially to the organization that we call on every time we need something. Whenever there's a fire or a hurricane, the Red Cross is the first response. Outside of those emergency needs, the Red Cross has an after-school program that takes care of kids, and the Red Cross also provides Meals on Wheels to those that need food but may not be able to provide it for themselves. So it really is an amazing organization. It's been in our country for years, and it's always done its part to help to make the Bahamas better.
Giving back to those in need is a significant part of building up our country. The Red Cross Society held its annual ball to raise funds to help those in need. Reporting for UBTV, I'm Andrea Davo.
Every year, the Jones Communication Network has been honoring exemplary men and women in society. This year is no different.
Our Brittany McDermott was at this year's JCN Person of the Year award ceremony and has all the details.
Every year, the Jones Communication Network honors influential people in society, and this year was no different. The Jones Communication Network chose to honor two outstanding Bahamians who have each held international positions. These persons are President of the Progressive National Baptist Convention Incorporated USA, the Reverend Dr. Timothy Stewart, and Dr. Leonard Johnson, who is a Seventh-day Adventist pastor and the first pastor from an English-speaking territory to become Executive Secretary of the Inter-American Division of Seventh-day Adventists. JCN CEO Wendell Jones explains.
Our survival and upward mobility depend on an understanding of our common humanity and how we are to be able to get our fellow men in the Bahamas to follow the Christian faith. And this is why, as a media organization, we are pleased to draw attention to the Reverend Dr. Timothy Stewart, who leads the Progressive National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated, and Dr. Leonard Johnson, Executive Secretary of the Inter-American Division of Seventh-day Adventists. They are Bahamians who are extraordinary in providing leadership on the global stage.
Also attending this year's ceremony was last year's recipient, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, who said in his address that it was essential to honor persons in society who helped to develop the Bahamas.
Public recognition helps to ensure that their contributions do not fade from our national memory. It also helps nurture a strong sense of community and national pride. It sets a good example for others and offers young people a source of inspiration. Thank you Mr. Jones for seeing the value in recognizing citizens who make a difference.
Noting that his religious work began with the Almighty God, Dr. Leonard Johnson, in accepting his award, said he did so being cognizant of the church.
Firstly, the Baptist denomination, where I had my early beginning, and significantly, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Since 1976, when I became a member, this church that accorded me the privilege and the opportunities to serve at every single level just about in the church, and to travel and traverse so many places throughout the world. And so today, I stand as a member of this church, and I give this honor to my church for what it has done for me and through me.
In his acceptance address, the Reverend Dr. Timothy Stewart gave thanks to God, specifically for allowing him to be a part of the Bahamian Society at this time.
I want to thank God for being part of this Bahamian community at this pivotal juncture in history, where the best and the brightest are being sought and called for in order to contribute to the tremendous areas that this country needs so badly.
Reporting for UBTV, I'm Berthany McDermott.
When it comes to arts and entertainment, there's nothing like an art walk exhibition that allows Bahamian artisans to display their art, crafts, and music.
Taking a tour through the Atlantis Resort to sample some of their work was our reporter Andrea Darfo. Let's take a look at that story.
The Bahamas is a nation of vast natural resources. Artisans amongst the country express their creativity using those resource materials. The art walk at the Atlantis provides an opportunity for Bahamians to showcase their authentic works on an international scale. From paint to sea glass to sponges and even tires, the imagination of these artisans are exploding onto canvases and manifesting into gems of art. Astrid creates jewelry out of sea glass and has been a part of the art walk for 2 years.
I've been there from the beginning. I think it's a really great venue for artisans like myself who do this full time. I do have items to Craft Cottage and Uniquely Bahamian, and during the year I try to get involved in different trade shows. But I love this venue because we have a captive audience. It's also nicely presented. It's top artisans that have been selected.
Another great designer named Tiffany takes her silk paintings and imprints them on household items such as mugs, water bottles, and cotton boards. She shared with me the importance of the artwork to her.
The artwork is an opportunity for me to showcase my work to guests that come to the island, as well as sell, of course, and it's a good provision for my family.
One of the artists has found a way to make great use of sponges.
My company is called My Bahamas Sponge, and we sell sponges that are harvested locally here in the Bahamas. Today we have on display, we have the grass sponge, which is a sponge that's used for exfoliating the skin. One of the beautiful things about sea sponges is they don't have a bacteria, nor mold or mildew.
I was surprised to discover a tire artist. Candice Marshall refers to herself as an artpreneur, and she said the greatest advantage for her at the art walk is international exposure.
The art walk means opportunities to expand my horizon beyond the Bahamas without ever having to leave. And, when an artist comes out here, it's more than just about making money. You meet people from all walks of life, from all over the world, and they open up opportunities for you to either carry your products abroad, to make networking contacts, opening up doors that you do not necessarily think are there.
Bahamians gather from all walks of life to display their talent and showcase their crafts at the Art Walk. Reporting for UBTV, I'm Andrea Davo.
Theater has always played a pivotal role in displaying how talented students are here at the University of the Bahamas.
In fact, Joshua Robbins shows this in this art and entertainment segment.
The Colored Museum is a stage play that has been shown throughout America for decades. In celebration of Black History Month, UB Theater Company prepares to bring this production to life right here in the Bahamas.
You see, Captain sent me ahead to look for some screaming yellow bastards.
Of course, I couldn't figure out for the life of me, why they be screaming, seeing as how we trying to kill them, and they're trying to kill us.
Including the other kind of pain we're starting to feel.
The type of pain from feeling no pain at all.
It feels like we're suffocating, as if we're not even human anymore.
English lecturer and director Craig Smith said there's a lot to expect from this production.
Well, I think that the message is pertinent to our situation now. Again, as I said, the play is about the Black experience, but it's also about color consciousness. It's about issues with Black identity, Black hair issues. It's about dealing with unresolved issues from slavery. And I think that a lot of the things that the play talks about, we're still not talking about.
Deandra Brissa said the Color Museum is not a traditional production, but it's one where she gets to host her own cooking show.
I'm Aunt Ethel in the vignette Cooking with Aunt Ethel, and so what she's doing is pretty much putting together a recipe for how to make Negroes.
'Cause now you're cooking with Aunt Ethel.
It helps me to, in a way, just develop myself more and to explore what I can do in regards to acting.
For more information on this production, visit UB Theatre Company on Instagram. I'm Joshua Robbins reporting for UB TV.
That wraps up this month's UB TV News Magazine. There's a lot happening on and off campus, so stay in touch by tuning in each month.
That's right, Annalise. Our show is for all Bahamians, not just students. So if you have any questions, comments, and or story ideas, email us at ubtvradio@ub.edu.bs.
And remember, for a great education, come and visit the University of the Bahamas. You will not be disappointed. I'm Annalise Thompson.
And I'm Lauren Ashley Turner. See you next month for another edition of UB TV News Magazine. Thanks for watching. Bye.